In this episode, I'm going to walk you through a tried and true technique for recording vocal that'll get you amazing vocal takes every time. It has to do with not using headphones when you record vocal. You may be thinking it's a crazy idea. I bet you'd be hard-pressed to tell the difference between loud headphones next to a microphone and a microphone placed in the control room and using this technique. Let's dive in. Well, hey, my name is Brian, and you're watching Creative Sound Lab. It's a weekly recording show with recording tips, pointers, and off-the-wall recording techniques. Now, today is really about getting amazing vocal takes. Probably the most amazing that you've recorded so far. If it's something that you're really struggling with, maybe you find yourself in a jam where the vocalists get really discouraged when they're trying to record. They come back in and they realize, wow, I was really off pitch. Well, this is a perfect technique for those types of situations. And so really today is all about recording vocal without headphones. Now you can do this in the control room is a popular place to do it, but you can really do it in the live room. You can do it with like a stage wedge, like a monitor that would typically be used for live applications. So you don't just have to do it in a control room of your studio. But really, it's about getting the comfort level of your vocalist much, much higher than what they ever could while hearing their voice, hearing the sound of the microphone back into headphones. Headphones is really unnatural. They typically don't sit around their house, singing into the mic and then monitoring the sound of their voice through headphones. You know, when they learned to sing, they probably sang in the car, they sang in the shower. They did all these things that were in natural environments and natural rooms. Maybe they went to a stairwell where it was really echoey. So these are natural places, native states of vocalists that really, if we put them there, they're going to give us better vocal takes. And after all, if we get them in a more comfort zone, then the music will be better. And so this technique is all about that. It's all about trying to make the music better by the means of how we record the musicians that we work with. So really, this technique is all about placing it in the room. So step one is really find a place that you can get your vocalist to preferably stand in the room and where you can also be playing through speakers so that they can be singing along to the music, what they're hearing in the room, and without any headphones, they're going to be singing back, and they're going to be singing into the mic. And so just find a place where you can do that. You can play the track to them, and they can just like they're standing behind your studio desk chair or something, okay? So this is a perfect spot. This is kind of my typical spot when I'm using this technique. So get them comfortable in a position in the room, and really start to get a vocal sound. Go ahead and fire up, 30 seconds and see what it sounds like. It's a little different than maybe recording in a vocal booth because vocal booths, you're able to really separate everything out. You're able to, put them in there. I'll be over in here, and I'll be able to listen to exactly what the mic is doing in real time. This is not the case. But the benefits are worth it, trust me. But this is not the case. You have to basically record a few seconds. Let's, say everybody, okay, let's have a listen. Do we like the sound? Should we raise the mic up? Should we lower the mic a little bit? I'm going to have an episode on how I approach just miking a vocalist. But really, these are decisions that we have to kind of be made as we're setting up. This is the initial stage. This is when we really have to tweak the mic and get the position just the way we want it. We do that through just quick test recordings, listening back, and making adjustments. From here, what we really need to do is put the whole studio on lockdown. Not necessarily locking the doors, but every knob, every variation in the audio track that you're playing to the vocalist, even the height of, the microphone, you basically don't want to touch a thing. So from here, go ahead and start recording your tracks. Once you start recording tracks that you want to keep, it needs to be on lockdown. You can't touch a thing. Okay, don't touch the volume knob. Don't make adjustments in the track. If the vocalist needs, say, background vocalist, or they need more acoustic or whatever, these are changes that need to be made to the so-called monitoring mix, the mix they're hearing. That mix needs to remain constant. Everything needs to remain completely constant. So go ahead and record your tracks, okay? 3-4 tracks. To be honest, with this technique, I typically do 2 or 3 tracks, and after that, the vocalist is pretty confident that they have the take that they need. And from there, this is kind of the secret sauce of this technique, is you're going to ask the vocalist for the portions of the song that they're singing. It doesn't have to be during the guitar solo, but for the portions of the song that they're singing, they're just going to stand behind the mic and breathe as quietly as possible. They're not going to say anything. They're just going to stand behind the mic. And it's important that they stand behind the mic, because even them being behind the mic is changing basically how the mic is getting noise in the room. So you're going to ask them to stand behind that mic, and you're going to record the bleed in the room during those sections. So what you're going to have is several vocal takes that are the takes that you like. Then you're going to have basically, it could be a whole pass, or you can do just the sections that they're singing if you don't want to wait through the guitar solo or the bridge or whatever. And you're going to basically be recording the noise. And when you haven't changed anything from the time that you've recorded the main vocal and recorded the noise, now we can go to the desk and I'll show you exactly what to do to cancel out this noise. Okay, so we're here at the mixing desk. I have a song pulled up by Nate Huff, and I just want to show you a couple of the different tracks. I want to walk you through what each of the tracks sound like without the noise cancellation and with the noise cancellation. I'm going to show you what the noise sounds like. I'm also going to show you exactly how I'm canceling out the noise that we're recording. Remember, we're asking our vocalist just to stand there for the entire time that they're singing. So this is to record the noise that's coming into the mic. This is basically recording all the junk that we don't want. So let's check out and see what that raw vocal sounds like. Just the dry vocal, no noise cancellation at all. This is pre-noise cancellation.
There's no healing that moves us like the blood from your son. There's no kindness that woos us like your generous touch. Your love is at hand. Your kingdom, it's stands.
So you can see there that it's really not so bad. But let's go ahead and apply the technique anyhow, just to really maximize what we're doing. Okay, now here is the noise track. This is just the noise. Yeah, so you can see that, there's not a whole lot of noise, but it's definitely a little bit more than headphones. Okay, so here's where the magic happens. We have a track that has all the junk. This is basically our noise. This is stuff we don't want. And because we've gone to this trouble of having our own track for it, we can really use it. We can use it to subtract out and process the good stuff, okay? So this is the track of the actual vocal, and it has noise in it as well. But when we bring up a track and keep the volumes the same, both at 0 or unity, then we can actually flip the phase and the noise will be subtracted out of this track. Okay, so that's pretty cool. We can actually take something and subtract it out using the phase. Now we've kept everything the same between these two tracks, okay, start to finish. Once we got our vocal sounds, I usually put tape over the faders. I put tape over this fader. I don't make any changes to the mix. That way the bleed in this vocal take is the exact bleed that we're hearing here. Once again, here is what that bleed sounds like. Okay, so that is the exact bleed that we have in that vocal take. All we have to do is basically flip the phase of this track, and it'll reduce that bleed. Now, in my experience, because I don't record in a chamber that has no reflections at all, this is not a completely perfect technique, but it does a really good job. Let's check out and see how good I did on this technique here.
There's no healing that moves us like the blood from your son. There's no kindness that woos us like your generous touch. Your love is at hand.
Okay, so right there, between those two phrases, we can really hear the difference. Here's without that noise cancellation that we've done.
Love is at hand. Your king.
Okay, right there was that piano note that really came through, and I also can hear more acoustic guitar. Once again, here's with the noise track that we're subtracting by using the phase. Here's with the noise cancellation.
Love is at hand. Your kingdom.
This is really good. It really gets you about the same that you would have with like loud headphones. You know, you can still hear a little bit of the music that would maybe come out in the form of headphone bleed. But in this situation, our vocalist is in a room, they're comfortable, it's in a very native state for what they're used to, and they can perform better. I'd mentioned at the beginning of this episode that it really messes with a vocalist's pitch. It really messes with their head and their ability to really perform good. And of course, this can really subtract away from their confidence in a session. They're in a new environment, they may be nervous. And so why do we want to make it harder for them to perform better? And this technique, although it may not be as good as, soundproof headphones that don't bleed at all and putting them in a vocal booth, to be honest, that may not give me the best recording, and they may feel awkward in the booth. They may not feel, as inspired to sing and do their best. And I'd rather get the more inspired version of their song than get kind of the bored, nervous, anxiety version of their song. And so this is a technique that's really helped me get good results. This, I believe, was the first or second take, and he liked it so much, he said, "That's the one. I'm happy with that." And so we didn't do more than maybe 3 takes on this, and it worked. It really worked for this vocalist. So I have a couple of different tips with this technique. The first one is to use only one monitor. Either turn the monitor off or pan your mix to one side or the other. This way you have a single point in the room that's emitting sound, a single point in the room that's collecting sound. And you'd think in theory that would make it a lot easier. You get better results using this technique. The next pointer is don't put the vocalist's sound of the microphone into that speaker. So they are just hearing the sound of their voice in the room, and that's it. If they can't hear their voice enough, then you need to turn the speaker down. If they feel exposed and they want to hear more music, then turn the speaker up. But don't put that microphone sound into the speaker and pipe it back into the room. So just have the microphone sound completely muted, and they're listening just completely naturally to the sound of the voice in the room. The third tip, and really pointer on getting this really great, is about controlling the bleed that goes into that mic. So what I've done a lot is actually use onboard EQ and just cut the bass, cut the treble. Really just have a mid-range heavy mix that vocalist is listening to. And that way, I don't get hi-hat, I don't get kick drum, I don't get bass guitar in that vocal mic. And really this technique is just treating that mid-range, right where that vocal sits. I don't have to worry about anything muddy flying around in the room because I've EQ'd it out. And I really try to go as low as possible on the volume of that as well. Now, if you find this really helpful, I actually have a free PDF download of everything of this video available for you to download and keep as a reference for when you try this out. You just go to creativesoundlab.tv. There's actually a link for it right here in the video, and you can sign up for my email list in which I will email you that PDF, And when you sign up for my email list, you actually get the entire collection. So I'm doing little perks and bonuses, downloads, sound bites, all these kind of things. I'm just putting into a massive pool, a collection. And when you sign up for my email list, you get every single week's worth. When they come out, you get it. So I really hope to see you there at creativesoundlab.tv. I'll see you next week.
Your love is at hand. Your kingdom, it stands. Touch, your love is at hand. Your kingdom, it stands.